organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Thanks for tuning in to Daily Iowan TV, your television, news, sports, and weather source for the Daily Iowan. I'm Amy Satowski, broadcasting from the Daily Iowan newsroom. With the heat index rising over 100 today, officials advised Iowa residents to stay indoors and out of the sun. Centers across Iowa opened their doors for residents to escape from the heat and avoid heat-related illness. Those at the greatest risk for heat-related illness include people aged 65 or older, infants, and children and overweight individuals. Stay tuned to the end of the newscast for your full forecast. Last week marked the 40th anniversary of the passage of the Title IX Amendment, which banned discrimination based on sex in any education program or activity that receives federal funding. I took a look at the Title IX Amendment and the effect that it has on athletes today. The Title IX Amendment was signed into law by President Richard Nixon on June 23, 1972. While the ultimate intention of the law was to make opportunities equal for men and women in an educational setting, it is often associated with women's participation in sport. Just 1 year after the passage of the Title IX Amendment, Dr. Christine Grant was hired as the first and only women's athletic director at the University of Iowa. Grant served the post from 1973 until her retirement in 2000 and spoke very highly of the then UI president Sandy Boyd and his assistance in bringing equality to women's athletics at the University of Iowa at the time of her hire.
And he was president when Title IX was passed. And in, I think it was January of 1973, he decided that Iowa was going to move quickly and we were going to elevate 12 women's sports from the club level to the varsity level, and he advertised for an athletic director. He decided we were going to have two separate departments, one for men's athletics, one for women's athletics.
Iowa volleyball player Grace Burns describes how important sport has been in her life, and she emphasizes more support for girls and women in athletics.
Still equal today. Like, I think women's sports really have to compete a lot with men's sports still, in aspect of like revenue and just popularity in general. But I mean, volleyball is just like my entire life right now. Like, I'm so passionate about it and I have so much fun doing it, and I just think it's important that people support girls and women getting involved in athletics.
Dr. Grant also agrees that there is still room for improvement, and she cites participation opportunities in particular.
Participation opportunities. This is now 40 years after Title IX was passed, and girls at the high school still do not have the number of participation opportunities that our boys had back in 1972.
And now for your sports update, here's Daily Iowan TV sports reporter Rachel Bedell.
On Wednesday evening, the members of the media were given a tour of what's been done on the new football facility. Energy efficiency is just one of the key points that they are working on.
We also put the panels to let natural light come in, and the lights will come on and off as needed.
The 102,000 square foot new facility contains natural ventilation and 19 miles of underfloor heating tubing.
We're actually heating this building with radiant floor heating system. So we think that that's a really good green technology to use and very energy efficient. That's important to our department as well.
The turf will be the same as in Kinnick Stadium, and the Kenyon practice area are now grass fields. The construction is still ongoing, however there is much to look forward to in the new facility, such as 4 batting cages and 3 filming platforms.
Wandered out, the sun was kind of going down, and just, boy, it struck me what a beautiful building it is. So it looks good on the inside, looks good on the outside, and you know, it's something our players are really going to benefit from on the short term, and that's fantastic. That's what things are all about, but it's also something very, very important to our program. So this is phase 1, and it's a start. And we're very excited about pushing forward with phase 2 and hopefully being in there by August of 2014.
The facility is supposed to be ready for coaches and players on August 3rd, and the whole project should be done by August 21st. I'm Rachel Bedell for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into Friday's edition of the Daily Iowan. Here is Daily Iowan Metro reporter Eric Leitner as he discusses the impact that Thursday's Supreme Court decision on health care will have on local residents.
Today, the Supreme Court upheld the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act mandates purchase of health care insurance for all Americans. 11,000 Iowans in the southeast area will now be covered under the new act. If you wish to learn more, you can read my article at thedailyiowan.com.
Now let's take a quick look at your local weather forecast. We may have a slight break from the dry weather on Friday with a 30% chance of isolated thunderstorms. Temps will cool down slightly with a high of 92 during the day and a low of 72 on Friday night. The weekend will bring more warm weather with highs in the 90s and a 30% chance of rain. Then prepare for another hot week with more high temperatures and only a slight chance of rain. Well, that's your latest update from Daily Iowan TV. Remember, you can check us out anytime online at dailyiowan.com. Thanks for watching and have a great night.